Good day, everyone, and welcome to our today's lesson on soul education. Today, we will start with the foundational question, one that has intrigued philosophers, mystics, and seekers of the truth for millennia. What is the soul? Before we dive into this, I want you to consider something. Have you ever felt that there is something more to you than your physical body, your thoughts, or your emotions? Have you ever sensed that beyond your identity, beyond your name, your achievements, and your story, there is a deeper presence, an essence that transcends the surface of who you are? This essence, my friends, is what is called the soul. And today we are going to explore the nature of this soul, not as an abstract concept, but as the very core of who we are. At its essence, the soul is eternal, the divine spark within each of us. It is the part of us that is timeless, untouched by the limitations of the physical world and beyond the reach of fear, doubt, and even pain. In many spiritual traditions, the soul is seen as our true self, the self that existed before our birth and will continue to exist even after our death. Philosophers like Plato believed that the soul is a prisoner of the body, longing to return to a higher realm of truth and purity. Bhagavad Gita teaches that the soul is immortal, saying, "The soul is neither born nor does it die. It is eternal, unborn, and undying." This essence that the soul is eternal and unchanging and permanent is regardless of the circumstances of the earthly existence. But what does this mean for us in our day-to-day lives? It means that we are more than our bodies, our jobs, our relationships, and even our material possessions. There is a deeper part of us, the divine presence, that we often overlook and neglect because we are too caught up in the distractions of the world. Let's take a moment and distinguish between the soul and the ego. The ego is the part of us that identifies with the external world, our name, our role, our status, our fears, and our desires. The ego is concerned with survival, with validation, with success, and even failure. It is always looking outward, seeking fulfillment in things that are impermanent. The soul, on the other hand, does not seek validation from the outside world. It is already whole, it is already complete. The soul knows that true meaning and purpose do not come from achievements or possessions, but from within, from aligning our lives with the deeper truth of who we are. Ask yourself, are you living from the soul or from the ego? Do you define yourself by what you own, by what you do, or by what others think of you? Or do you define yourself by the quiet inner knowing that you're part of something greater than this physical life? In the rush of the modern life, it can be easy to forget that we have a soul. We become so focused with our responsibilities, our careers, and our personal struggles that we lose touch with our inner essence. But the soul is always present, always waiting for us to turn our attention inward. How can we recognize the presence of the soul? We often experience the soul's presence in the moments of deep stillness, when we are free from distractions and the noise of the world fades away. It might be in a quiet moment of reflection, in the beauty of nature, or in the peace that comes from a deeper connection with another person. The soul speaks to us not through words, but through feelings of profound peace, love, and clarity. When we are in alignment with the soul, we feel whole. we feel grounded and we feel connected, not only to ourselves, but to something larger than ourselves. Have you felt that presence lately? The goal of soul education is not merely to understand the soul intellectually, but to live in alignment with it. This requires us to shift from a life dominated by the ego to a life guided by the soul. It means living with a sense of purpose, not one imposed by the society or the circumstances, but one that arises from within. Living in alignment with the soul requires us to cultivate awareness. The soul is always speaking to us, but we are often too distracted by the demands of the ego to hear its quiet, small voice. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection are ways to tune into the soul's wisdom. Consider these. Every day, you are faced with choices, big and small, that shape your life. What would happen if you approached these choices from the soul rather than from the ego? How would your decisions change if they were guided by your deeper sense of purpose and truth rather than by the fear or the desire of external validation? Finally, let us recognize that the soul is on a journey. It is not a static entity. It is dynamic, constantly evolving, and expanding in its understanding of itself and the world. Your soul is here for a reason, and your life is the vehicle through which your soul expresses itself. The mystic Shadin once said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." This shift in perspective is key to soul education. We are here to simply not to survive, to achieve, or to acquire. We are here to unfold, to grow, and to realize the full potential of our soul. This journey is not always going to be easy. It involves challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubts. But each of these experiences is an opportunity for the soul to grow, to learn, and to evolve. Are you willing to embrace this journey? Are you ready to live your life as an expression of your soul's deepest truth? As we move forward in this series of soul education, remember this: you are not just a body. You are not just your mind. You are not just your heart. You are your soul, a divine, an eternal presence with a unique purpose and potential. The more you recognize and align with that truth, the more your life will take a deeper meaning and fulfillment. So I ask you today, will you begin to live from your soul? Will you allow that divine presence within you to guide your thoughts, your actions, and your purpose? Because the essence of the soul is the essence of who we truly are. Thank you.